Diversity is in skills and competency, and not as commonly believed only in gender, race, language, level of education. And I think diversity and inclusion will, by the nature of itself, bring conflict. So it's the handling of conflict that brings diversity and equity together.
I think there are a couple of points here. I think DE&I, just from the perspective of us all being human beings, is fundamentally important. I think that the playing field has not been level, and that from a business perspective, DE&I is really about flattening that and creating equal opportunities for everybody.
I think diversity, equity and inclusion, it's massive. All three aspects. I'm not talking about gender, I'm talking about quite the broad picture of inclusion. We have a candidates market today, so certain positions are so hard to fill, so you need to think diverse in order to fill those positions. And furthermore, we have so many studies, we do not need any more, telling us that diverse teams are more successful, you create a better place, a more attractive place to work. And by including people of different cultures, nationalities, different age categories, you allow your environment to collect different perspectives, more ideas, which are so important in a world that's changing faster and faster.
Well, there's a moral imperative, obviously, for diversity and inclusion. And I guess, we all know that diversity and inclusion isn't necessarily just about skin color or gender. It's about diversity of thinking, culture, approach, ways of working, ways of thinking. And that richness really generates a huge amount of value to businesses. The real challenge for businesses is to try and not just recognize that it's important, but also put in place the right measurements and the right ways of performance managing the organization's approach to diversity and inclusion. People just need to figure out the best way to deploy it within their own organizations.
I think diversity is very important in management teams throughout the world. Unfortunately, in most countries, most management teams, the teams are not very diverse yet. Uncertainty is everyday business in business now, so I believe teams need to be set up to come with broad and diverse backgrounds. So management teams need to have people with different expertises and different backgrounds to be able to maneuver in uncertain times. And I believe companies need to introduce a culture of innovation and need to be able to deal with new topics and new innovations early on, and they need to learn to do this as an organization.